it's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. We are here in Dubai at Breakbulk Middle East in the studios, and I have the moderator of our Business Outlook panel, Susan Oatway, newly with the JOC.
I am. Thank you very much, Leslie.
So nice to see you again. So tell me, it was a energetic group of panelists. Certainly had some different perspectives. Tell me how you brought that group together and maybe characterize the different perspectives on that panel.
Well, it was very. They're a very good panel in that they all, attended meetings and, responded to my requests for questions. But they were very much carriers and then, freight forward EBC. So there were two sides to that panel, I think. But that underlying message is going forward, we have to work together better. And I think that's because of that, they were all very keen to be on stage and to have their viewpoints together. So they were a good panel to bring together. They really were.
That's good. All right. Well, give us some of the high points of what was covered in your session.
Okay. So we looked at how it's been for the last couple of years, and clearly carriers have had a much better couple of years than the EPCs. But there was an understanding that there were a lot of outside factors involved there. And there was also an understanding that going forward, we're still going to see that volatility. It's short term, we're definitely going to see that volatility. I banned the use of the word normal. I said we're not allowed to talk about a normal market because what is that? What is that going forward? And they all agreed that was true. And I think the inclusion actually of Hisham Al-Ansari from MSC was a really good call by Breakbulk, because that sort of gave brought us all together. There were these different carriers, and that's one of the issues. It's that supply of vessels going forward is clearly going to be, capacity is clearly going to be an issue going forward.
Definitely, and that's certainly your area of expertise. Did anything come out today that surprised you?
Well, how congenial they all were with each other. That was a relief, maybe not just a supply. I don't think so. I think our market is such that people will talk about what they're expecting and where the problems have been, and there have clearly been problems with the volatility and this need for a more sustainable market going forward. I think the one thing. So Kyriakos, right at the very end, said no one can predict, which is what I've based my 30-year career on, quite frankly. So, but his point was there's so much going on in the market, and I think that might have been a little bit of a surprise in that even the carriers are not sure where we're going in the future. So I think that was possibly the one surprise.
Interesting. Well, it was a phenomenal session, and I think it's so great to get these, different players together, one place, talking about the issues and seeing that their issues may not be the same, but they all have them and they overlap, right? And they have to work together. So hopefully we'll see more collaboration in the future.
That was definitely, I think that's something Breakbulk does very well, is bringing everybody together to do that. And I think that whole, the bigger issue for all of us is the sustainability of the fleet and the market, and that issue affects everybody, the EPCs, freight forwarders, the carriers, how we're going to be carbon neutral going forward. That's the final question, really.
Absolutely. So do you think, what was the feeling of the audience, do you think, when they walked out the door?
Well, I hope they were intrigued. We did have one question. Rarely do we get questions, so we did have one question. But I think there was a sense that they'd heard both sides of an argument, and that's what I think these panels are so good for, is giving everyone's viewpoint. And I think we heard both sides. We heard where the issues were. We heard that really the way forward is to work together, and I think that's quite a powerful message, I think, to start a networking event with, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for moderating, keeping that panel under control, right? And certainly we hope to see you at Breakbulk Europe. Great.